Hey all, Hibber here. So today we are taking out something that I don't play a lot, and that is a Japanese destroyer. And it's primarily to show you how I actually set the ship here up, because I assume I play it quite differently than other people, because I try to have the double torpedo reload boost on the ship. So let's just have a look at my build here. And as you can see, I'm using Togo as the commander, with Bay and Swirsky for concealment, and then contact is imminent. Look at me now, back in stock, reaching out, and fully packed. Fully packed being the key here, because that is what gives you two torpedo boosts. And the ship setup is pretty much, yeah, just pick concealment, obviously. So 3 smokes, 3 engine boosts, and 2 torpedo reload boosts. And this is what this build is all about, really. So go down here, and we still have 4.9 concealment, which is below the magical 5 kilometers. So it's still a very, very potent build in any way. And keep in mind that with Togo here, you don't have to pick any perks that give you anything negative. So it's all, positive or neutral. There's no picking one perk that gives you plus something and minus something in something else, if you know what I mean. So it's actually quite a good commander, this Togo here, and I have him like leveled as high as I want him, because there's no point making him higher than what he is, because you're just gonna increase pretty much fully packed reload speed, and it's not that important really. So I've said it before and I'll say it again, I am not the best Japanese destroyer captain, and that's also one of the reasons I have the double torpedo reload boost on here, because I tend to miss with my torpedoes, and with this boost here, it's very, very difficult to miss, even for me. And I'll show you here in a second, because we have this very nice Lyon here that's going in a straight line, and we're just gonna, pop a few torpedoes to see, well, can we get him? So I want to be sure I can sink this guy, and as you can see, I already popped my first reload boost, so that means that I can fire another 8 torpedoes, and I see the last one there I made it wide, just in case, because who knows, he could turn anyway, but look at all those torpedoes there, and I mean, it doesn't really matter which way he's going to turn now, or what he could possibly think of doing. He's going to eat at least 1 or 2 torpedoes, and he's getting inside the cap, so it's pretty good timing here. So we'll just wait for the torps to hit, and then he'll be pretty much out of the game already. There's not much health left on him there, that's a shame, but still a kill is a kill. So other than torping other ships, spotting is really what the Japanese destroyers do best. If you go up against another destroyer, unless it's another Japanese, then you're usually outgunned, and it's pretty hard to, to make a getaway. You do have smoke, but they're very slow, and pretty much any other destroyer can catch you, even when you're trying to run away. So torps and spotting really is what these things do here, and that's also one of the reasons I don't play them that much, because it tends to get a bit boring. Especially when you have to wait a long time for your torps to come back. Like unlike the Swedish destroyers, where you have to wait less than a minute. Then these things here take a few minutes, and where you can just putter around and spot, and it's a little bit boring, I think. So we'll push up a little bit further here. We have 2 battleships behind us, so I'm just gonna push up and then see what I can spot for them. And still haven't run into a destroyer on this flank here, so I'm just going to pop a few torps this way here. See, my reload boost is not ready yet, still a minute and a half, but I do have another one coming. So I'll just sit here and make sure the Miyoko is spotted, and then as soon as one of my battleships is in spotting position, so he can spot the Miyoko himself, then I'm just going to smoke up, and then I'm going to just shoot at him, just for the sake of doing something, because like I said, I tend to get a little bit bored in these ships here, unfortunately, because I mean, when you actually get to torp something, it's fun, but all the waiting in between is just it's a little bit too much for me. So I'm thinking he's turning here, and I think, oh, that Torp is going to look good. I might actually get another easy kill here. But unfortunately, it runs out of steam, like literally a meter from the hull or something. But whatever, it doesn't matter. I have battleship backup, so this guy here is gone very, very quickly indeed. So anyway, the Asashio, it is a premium tier 6 Japanese destroyer, and it's pretty much, and I say pretty much, a Yudachi at tier 6, really. Like, it has slower Torp reload, but that's about it. And I know, at tier 6, so that means you don't get to face many radar cruisers in this ship here, whereas in Yudachi there's radar cruisers everywhere. So I tend to do a lot better in this ship here, simply because you know, the resistance or the reds down here at tier 6, it's not very rare you get to face a radar cruiser or a carrier for that matter. So really, it's back to the old days of World of Warships Legends, where, you know, destroyers reigned supreme and they could just sit unspotted at less than 5 kilometers. And in this case here, you can fire 16 torpedoes twice in the battle. I mean, that's just nuts. Also a lot of fun. And if you use this build here, like I have, then as I said, you will get 2 torpedo reload boosts, which can really make a huge difference. And another thing is that most people only expect you to have one of those. So once they see that you use it, they make a mental note and think, okay, the Asashio has used its Torp reload boost. And then sometimes battleships become a little bit too aggressive, thinking, oh, he's on Torp reload, or like he hasn't used his booster. But then if you pull another booster out of your back pocket and fire 16 torpedoes at that whatever red ship that's incoming, that catches a lot of people unaware and off guard, and is also quite entertaining. And I just want to reiterate here that if you go with Togo as a commander on your Asashio here, or well, any destroyer for that matter, any Japanese destroyer, remember, like I said in the beginning, that no matter what perk you pick, you're not going to get any negative sides. You're not going to have to pick a perk that gives you better torps, but, you know, like slower gun reload or something like that. Here you just get the stock ship and then you pick, and nothing gets, you know, nerfed in any way. So that's actually a huge advantage when you think about it. And also the fact that you can use Togo on any other ship. Really, just, you know, shuffle the perks around. So if you are just starting out with this game here, he's a good all-rounder, but of course you are kept from specializing into, for example, torpedoes or guns, depending on like which of the other standard destroyer commanders you don't pick then. But in the end, I think that he's probably, and in my opinion, he's the best pick for the torpedo reload equipped Japanese destroyers, exactly for the fact that you get 2 torpedo reload boosters, which is just nuts. So here, soon I'm going to use my last booster. I've been saving it for this the battleship or the carrier here, and the battleship is the one that seems to be pushing in, so he's going to be the lucky winner of the torpedo boost, my last torpedo boost here. So as I said before, I'm not that good at aiming torpedoes from far away. It's not one of my strong suits, and probably just because I don't play destroyers a lot. When I torp ships, it's usually in a cruiser, you know, within 3 to 4 kilometers, where it's like really hard to miss. So it works for me to have a bunch of torpedoes, and it's obviously a torpedo reload boost. So as you can see, I can just pretty much saturate the ocean with torpedoes, and see that third set there completely missed, and then I saved the 4th set here. So out of 16 torpedoes, I am pretty sure I'm going to get some of them to hit. I could also have waited a little bit and you know, fired at him when he was much closer, but I thought I have so many torpedoes anyway, might as well just get them out of the water. So this last set here, he definitely did not expect, which is what I mean by having two torpedo reload boosts, it can really make well, make or break you really. So I don't use Togo here on all Japanese destroyers, only the ones that have the possibility of a torpedo reload boost, because that is the whole point of the build. So I don't use it on Shimakaze, for example. On these ships here, Asashio especially works really well. Yudachi also very nicely. Akisuki as well, also pretty good. And it's just it's something different, you know. It spices up the gameplay both for you and for your opponents when you do something no one really expects. And you know, expect the unexpected. And in this game here, that's very rare because everybody runs the same builds exactly. So you know exactly what to expect from, say, an Iowa. It's going to be a dispersion build, and it's just boring. So I put a bit of effort into finding other builds that actually work well, just like agile cruisers. And unfortunately, on battleships, I have yet to find anything that works better than a dispersion build, which is a bit of a shame, really, because there are so many options on those ships, but nothing really seems to work better than just popping everything in dispersion and just going to town with that. And it's a shame. There's so much wasted potential here, and I mean, Wargaming has put an effort in to try to get people to try other builds, but they just don't perform. Like a secondary build, yeah, it's kind of funny, but like it doesn't perform. And also, if you put Kondo on your Yamato, sure you get faster reload, but I'm not sure it's worse than using Takagi, but it's certainly not as competitive as it could be. So anyway, we just got our third solo cap here, and I mean, if you watch my videos, you know I love to cap, and I do it in cruisers, I do it in battleships, I do it in destroyers, obviously, and in destroyers it's really easy. I mean, getting 3 solo caps is not really something special, but getting that in a cruiser, now that is a whole other ball game. And like getting a solo cap in a battleship is also quite an achievement in my opinion. So I usually just use the caps here when I play destroyer as an easy way to get XP, really, because you get a bunch of XP and very little effort involved. All you gotta do is spot and just have, you know, an idea of where the enemy destroyer is. So that was Asashio here with a Togo double torpedo reload boost build. That was a long name. And I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I'll see you out there.